Microphone. There we go. Hi. Hey. Hello.
Hello, homies.
Hello, homies.
Hello, homies. Homies. It's me, Princess Zelda. Homies, wake up.
Wake up, homies. Homies, you're in danger.
How's it hanging?
It's hanging good, Jay. I'm excited to play Zelda. I'm excited to be back. I love seeing my friends standing in a new place.
Yeah, standing, not it's a standing desk, but I'm not standing for any health reason. I'm standing so that from a more elevated angle, you can't see as much of the awful mess that the living room of this new apartment is. Riley, moving is hard.
Moving's hard, and I would love to be there to help because I genuinely like moving, unfortunately.
No, it's good. It's good. Me and our friend Rufus Roswell unloaded an illegally parked U-Haul last weekend. It was great. I'm hanging.
That's the party. Well, are you ready to start hanging at the end of the world?
I would love to hang. Is it the end of the world or is it the beginning of a new one?
That's
very kind of up to us.
It is. I am going to delete all of my save data for the sake of this show.
We are gonna unsave Hyrule from Calamity Ganon. Yep. Uh-oh, he came back.
Link doesn't got a motorcycle no more. It's all gone.
Time to wake up Link 2, who's in the second bed next to the first one.
Well, that one beefed it. Oh shit.
Right at the end, too. It's Breath of the Wild time, Riley. This is a big one. This is what many credit as like the start. I mean, certainly like the start of a new era for Zelda, and what many credit as like what some call like the first truly great one in a while. I don't know if I agree with that on a few different ways, but it's a beloved one.
It's definitely a trendsetter. It's definitely set the stage for what Zelda currently is and probably will be for the foreseeable future. I think over the course of this, we are going to discuss if that is good or not.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, which is a kind of complicated question. I say that loving this game. You say that I think being a little more mixed on it.
Yeah, I would say mixed is the right place where I am. Right,
yeah,
like I'm not like I'm openly hostile for the joke.
Yeah.
You will be hearing this in Hyrulean French Canadian. That is you.
Yes, we should talk about that. Would you like to explain why that is?
I believe in my heart of hearts that Zelda should not have voice acting. No Zelda game should. Like, I think it is actively worse that it does. If I could turn off just the voices, I would, but I can't. And so, therefore, French Canadian is the fakest language I can imagine. I don't feel bad about using for that.
Sorry, Wheels. Sorry, our good friend Wheels.
She would agree.
She's not even from that part of Canada, I don't believe. Maybe they speak French there. I actually don't know for sure.
But I think this game would even be stronger in my eyes if it didn't have voice acting and I could just sit there and like click through the dialogue tree, right? Like not dialogue tree, even just like the, hey, you get it or no?
Yeah, right. Which you do get the dialogue tree for most of the dialogue in the game, to be fair. Like that is still what most of the conversation in this game is. But I think to your point, and we should talk about the actual opening here in a second, but to your point, I think like the voice acting when it comes, the fact that there's a little bit of both makes both of them weirder and both of them like a little bit more uncanny, and I can totally see it. I don't hate the voice acting in this game. I agree with you that Zelda's voice actor like just doesn't feel right to me. She does a fine job, but it just isn't like, it just doesn't quite make sense to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. How do you feel about this opening little alien pod chamber we've woken up in?
I mean, hey, Link wakes up in a bed. This counts. I like that. I like the setup that he currently has. I like coming out of this thing. Like, again, this is kind of like what were you playing? Link's Awakening, where it's just like you're playing the game. Like, hi, you're in the Legend of Zelda. Did you know what that is? You're here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you know what that is. And like that's kind of cool all on its own. It's something that I like. I genuinely kind of enjoy, but.
I like the bed. I like that the first things you're seeing are all new. I like the first object you get is the kicking, hurting his feet is really funny.
It is funny.
I really like that the first object you get in this game is the Sheikah Slate, which is new and is going to be kind of like essential to everything you do. I also just like that, like, So I'll tell you right now, I am a huge fan of the art design around the Sheikah in this game.
Yes.
I think all the shrines and everything look incredible. The Divine Beasts are like some of the best. The Sheikah stuff in this game, I think, is some of the best art design in the franchise, as much as anything else iconic to the franchise.
Well, and it kind of gets taken and becomes Zonai, right? Like,
we'll talk about that. So I am now finally playing through Tears of the Kingdom. I was telling you before we started, I kind of picked it up as
That's
a little
true.
like getting moved in present, and I am building a lot of thoughts about like the amount of Sheikah stuff that they put a different coat of paint on for Zonai stuff in Tears of the Kingdom. We will talk about it more there, but yes, they do that.
It's kind of nuts. I
like it better here, I will say. I will say right now, I think I prefer the Sheikah aesthetic shrine and puzzle stuff in this to the Zonai aesthetic shrine and puzzle stuff in Tears.
I think I like the Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts of it all in Tears of the Kingdom. I truly do, because I love Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, but like...
That stuff I like. I'm purely talking about like the visual aesthetic.
Oh, the visual design. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you. And like, I like the free running, free climbing. That shit's tight. And this is kind of hard to beat.
This is good.
Like,
even
as a hater, I have to be like, this is tight.
You and I were talking before we started streaming about how you think the soundtrack to this game is kind of mid. I think that piano build right there is like perfectly indicative of what I like about the soundtrack to this game, which is just like, it is very kind of mellow and in the background. I think that's a really fair criticism, and I think it is not necessarily the strongest soundtrack in the series, but it has these moments that do use the soundtrack incredibly well. That's one. I think the actual main title theme of this game, I can't hum it off the top of my head, but I think that's a really strong just piece of music. It has moments that really hit, even if it's not necessarily the most noticeable soundtrack in the world.
Yeah, and I guess that's the problem, is like, I like Zelda's noticeable soundtrack, right? Like, that's the thing that kind of calls me forward, and like, because I love so much of the music, and this game does do a lot with the music for like the Rito, right? Like, you can't even deny that. Like, that's just true. But like, I don't know. For people like the Goron and the Zora, who I also think I have equally like big emotional connections to, I'm like sad that, I don't know, it's not that it throws it away, because it still plays in the motifs, but it doesn't bring anything new to the table in a way that bums me out.
It doesn't bring anything new to the table in a way that's like forefront of your experience while you're going through those parts of the game, right?
Yeah.
Here's an old man.
He's an old man. I wonder what his deal is.
No one knows.
No one knows. I've never seen an old man in Legend of Zelda before.
I don't want to just like shoot my whole shot here, but I will say that like something I like about the opening of this game a lot is that, like, you know, Breath of the Wild is very much inspired by the energy of the first Legend of Zelda game, of the original Zelda 1, in terms of it like largely feeling like it is just kind of you wandering in a wild world with very little civilization of any kind, pretty much none. The box art mimics the classic Zelda 1 art. I like you meeting this old man who will learn who he is, but I like it because it is directly mirroring you getting the sword from the old man in the cave in Zelda 1. I think that's really fun.
I'll tell you one thing that is like, I wish we could talk more about the comparisons and contrasts from Tears of the Kingdom, but we'll do that when we get to Tears.
Yeah.
Oh, here, French.
Link,
That's just his name.
dirige-toi vers le lieu que t'indique la carte de la tablette Sheikah.
It is kind of cool in French. I do kind of like it.
That's the thing, right? It's like, I should not understand what they say. What you got, big boy? What you got, big boy? What you got? Nothing. You don't got shit, you dumbass. Fuck you. Hold on, wait. I was fuck. How do I switch? There we go. Got an X. Fuck you. Fuck you. I also like in this. Never mind.
No.
How deep are you in Tears right now?
Not deep. I have just gotten the prompt to, hey, guess what? The 4 places you went to in Breath of the Wild have quests at them
Yeah,
again.
you gotta go back there again. All right, then yeah, you're not
Yeah.
deep. You're not deep enough in it for me to want to like talk deeper about anything. I tell you what, I miss these guys. I miss these guys so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Well, and they're part of why the like Sheikah art design is so strong, right? Is like those things are like one of the strongest. I think they are like the strongest designed thing in this game. Calamity Ganon, fine. These, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, killer A+.
See, I voted for Calamity Ganon in the villains poll for the, the Hello Hyrule.
Oh yeah. Well, he was up against Pig Ganon, right? Like absolutely, Calamity Ganon wins that one. Come on, who the fuck are we? What are we doing here?
Because he's like a fucked up like dragon, right? Like.
Yeah, kind of. He's
Can we
a
see him?
thing. He's you know our good friend Chris Hutton's tweet about how I'm gonna go see The Thing, and I guarantee by the time I finish watching this movie, I'm gonna have a better name for it than The Thing. And then he comes out and says, "Nah, that right there is a thing. That's what Calamity Ganon is. You go in and break that thing. That's a thing."
Yes, absolutely. That I love that because again, I'm a sucker for like oh, here's a word and like I am thing but an adjective. I'm a psycho frame. I'm Calamity Ganon.
Yeah.
I'm going malice mode or whatever, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, especially, I mean, God, if you want to talk about Calamity Ganon, like the fact that it's a big, like another thing that signifies this is such like, did you know that? Like, this feels like very nerdy shit to bring up, but like, it was Ganon, and then Ocarina of Time introduced Ganondorf as the like longer name, right? And that's where you see Human Ganon for the first time, Human Ganondorf for the first time.
That's actually wild to think about.
Right, and then this introduces the third Ganon we've had with Calamity Ganon. Like, that's the third thing. Unless you count the time he fuses with an alternate universe version of himself in the Link Between Worlds. We'll get to that one of these days. That game actually is very cool.
Link Between Worlds rules.
Great, yeah, great game. But, like, this is the third Ganon type we've had.
He comes in forms. One thing that drives me wild about this game is that I do have to play it like fucking like this, you know, with the Dark Souls grip.
Yeah.
Or like have the claw because like they put sprint on Y.
I was just re-experiencing that with Tears as I've been playing through it a little bit, yeah.
All right, let's fucking
Time to go get some. Are we at getting shrines open? Oh no, we're at awakening the tower, right?
That's it. Yeah, I went to the wrong place first. That's on me.
That's
What am I supposed to do
okay.
here?
Not be up there. You're on the roof, buddy.
I'm really like
down.
I'm playing this like a true streamer. Where I'm like I'm not reading anything. Fuck all this.
Truly.
I'm too good for this.
Boy, that's something else I like that I didn't think about before, actually, is this first tower. You can't, like, if you don't know anything about this game, you can't even tell this is a tower. It's just like a little thing in the ground.
And you've seen a lot of things in the ground on the way here.
Yeah, there's many of the ground is everywhere in this place.
And things? More so.
Don't get me fucking started about things.
Please watch for falling rocks. This game does have the sense of humor I want from Zelda, though. Like, I want it to be like a little, like a little silly with it.
It is. It super is. There's a lot of because you know I
not beating the Game Grumps allegations. Thanks, Grizzy. You should all Google Game Grumps allegations for more.
Oh man, fucking got him. That completely wiped whatever the fuck I was about to say. Oh no, I was gonna say, so I just played most of this game this year, because I was getting excited for Tears, and I just like open world games now, which I didn't in 2017. Sorry.
No worries. Oh, they mute. Look at them mute like a professional.
I was trying to be polite to our audience. There's a lot of funny stuff specifically in whenever you are given a multiple choice response to something when you're talking to an NPC in this game. Link's funny. Like when you're talking to the sand seals, he's got seal puns when you're talking to the lady who sells the sand seals in the Gerudo town.
I mean, like, there's part of, like, that's an okay way for Link to talk. But I think, and like, I like that. There's part of me that thinks that Link should, like, Like I like that kind of like, I can imagine him emoting that. Like it doesn't even need to make sense that he didn't say the pun out loud.
I'm trying to think if that's new to these games or if like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and Ocarina have those where it's like the options have actual sentences in them rather than just being like yes or no.
I don't think it has the same sass, but like Wind Waker Link is a little sassy little man.
Oh, he's got, well, that's the thing, right? Is like, yeah, he's got tons of character to him. Even Twilight Princess Link does. Skyward Sword Link has a ton because they just like cutscene the shit out of that game. Here we go.
That's just cool. Like that's a dragon.
Yeah, it's erupting out of the castle like something. That man, that's very minimal music that plays behind it too. Again, talking about the soundtrack.
Now then, that's pretty fucked up, Link.
Link, do you have like some Clorox wipes? Maybe a Swiffer? You got
Link.
anything to clean this shit up?
Link, I really screwed up this time.
Yeah, Link, I fucked up so bad.
Link, I fucked up so bad, but French now.
Link, I gotta be honest, I never clean out the grease trap, and this is what happens when you don't clean out your grease trap, Link. This is real fucked up. We gotta get a new dishwasher, we gotta get a new sink, it's all fucked up, this whole kitchen is ruined, Link.
I thought I
beefed
died.
it so bad. Yeah, me too. You got into a quarter of a single heart.
I knew the right amount to drop.
Yeah, you did. You did that intentionally and smartly and wisely, I would say.
That's what people say about me.
I didn't mute that time. I will say though, so talking about this being like a very desolate Hyrule based on Zelda 1, I think it's very smart that like obviously we get the lore about what happened, like why Calamity Ganon's there, what that all is. Old man is telling us that right now.
Yep.
But they do a really good job of just how do we visual language immediately show that the castle is fucked and not just show it by having a cloud hanging over it. Just show it in like the thing that is fucking it up is flying around it in circles and like just actively poisoning it at all times, basically.
Yes. It does a lot to give you that feeling of something here is so deeply wrong.
And has been for a long time.
Give me that paraglider. Yeah, I don't want to give you the treasure. I don't want to. Oh, okay.
You gotta, you won't be a hero.
I'm busy. I'm busy. What are you gonna show me? What are you gonna show me? What are you gonna show me? I'm gonna hurry. What are you gonna show me? You gonna show me that over there? I'm gonna go to it.
Do you have games on your phone? You have games on your staff?
Did you feed your Snorlax today? Cloud on castle this time. Oh, do you think it wants me to talk to him, does it? No, let's find out. Let's find out if I can really go wet and wild with it.
You're getting wet. You're also about to lose all your stamina and die.
Game over. Fastest
Well,
game
Riley.
over in a homies.
do you feel like you got suitably wet and wild with it, Riley?
I did get a little bit too wet and wild with it, I think I can safely say. Good stream.
Good stream. Thanks for Grizzy.
It's all just a secret so I can eat my salmon.
That's okay. Death. Listen, it's strategic death. You meant to do it. Talking about the Sheikah stuff, I also like the glue, the glue and orange, the orange and blue glowing that happens. Like I think they do a really good job of like choosing colors and designing them in a way where, of course, you know, you can look at you can look into the Sheikah slate, see them from afar, ping them. Like I think that's all really good. This game has really good visual design, is what I keep coming back to.
And that I think is undeniable. I think that like the visuals of this game, both in design and execution, are gorgeous. Like I don't know, and it hits better for me even here than it does in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't fully know why, like because they're basically the same hat. I don't know why this one is just like, this is Breath of the fucking Wild here.
I think that is why, honestly, a little bit. I think, I don't know. We'll talk about when we get to Tears. I am really loving my time with Tears, but like, we'll talk about it. I think that they came to the orange and blue color palette first for a reason, is part of what I'll say about that.
I mean, that green is questionable.
it's not as I mean, you can pick it out. It's not like hard to pick out, but it's not as good. It isn't as striking against the landscape, and I feel like it kind of shows.
Okay, what are we doing here? What do we got?
We're learning about magnets.
Teach
you
me.
Gotta get your magnet rune.
I love that it's just like whip and drop a little bit of juice on your Sheikah slate.
Because it's completing the Sheikah symbol. Because the Sheikah symbol has that tear under the eye, and that's the tear.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, it rules. It's so good. I fucking love Sheikah stuff. It's so cool.
Are they your favorite Zelda, like, species, like, culture?
Not really. I really love the Sheikah stuff in this. I never cared a ton about them before Breath of the Wild. I might say that, like, ancient Sheikah tech, Sheikah from Breath of the Wild is some of my favorite Zelda culture, though, for sure. I think it is, like, incredibly well imagined. I think the idea that they decide to take a Zelda race, a Zelda group that's from, like, really far back into the series and make them suddenly, like, not the focal point, but kind of the backdrop, like the table setting of this game is really interesting and not something they do a lot. Like, usually, if you have reoccurring Zelda races, it's like the Gorons are doing the same shit more or less in any given game, right? The Zora are doing the same shit in any given game. The Korra, whoever. To do that with the Sheikah, like the Sheikah have always been a little different because they're just a group of, buddy, there's a ladder over there. You can
I know. I'm sorry. I'm in the Tears of the Kingdom solving process. You're
good. Wait, yeah, I will ask you in a minute how that's feeling, and I do want to know about that as we go. But like, I don't know. It's kind of unusual for them to take a pre-existing thing going back that far into the series and like pulling it to the forefront in that way.
Well, it's always the Sheikah have always been weird. Hello, Electric Gaunt. The Sheikah have always been there. Like, fuck.
Oh yeah,
there are some freaks here. I mean, because that's like, I don't know. We obviously both just listened to a Shadow Temple episode where you're like, I don't know. There's something bad with the Sheikah.
Yeah. I mean, the Ocarina of Time Sheikah, like that's the whole thing. The first precedent you're set for them is that they used to be like the most war criminals you could possibly be. If there was an award for being war criminals, they wouldn't win it. They would give it out.
I love Yoda.
Yeah. Kind of guy. I never watched Fraggle Rock, but I imagine this is what all the Fraggle Rock Muppets look like. Like that. I just know that show's a little creepier in some ways, and so I'm just like, yeah, that's a Fraggle Rock, but with bones.
Hold on. This guy has a name.
They all have names, yeah.
Are they all different names? These are all just so.
All the shrines have names, and I think the idea is always that the guy in an individual shrine, their name is the name of that shrine, and it's like they're the designer of that shrine and of that puzzle.
How interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Like, they're all fucking escape room builders who then seal themselves in the center of their escape rooms and fucking die there.
Seraph, we have both listened to the same theory. I like.
Oh yeah.
I'm intrigued. Actually, is that a theory or is that just text?
I thought that was just text. I genuinely thought that was just canonically what it is. More or less.
So what is your favorite Zelda species?
That's fucking screw off. No. It is probably the Picori or the Minish, partly because Minish Cap is my first Zelda game I ever played. I know that's only showed up in the one game answer, but it probably is my real answer. I think it's kind of a crime that the director of this game didn't get to put the Minish in it like he wanted to.
It would have been good.
It makes sense that it's the Koroks instead, but goddamn, imagine those little fuckers in here.
Mm-hmm. My favorites are like the Kokori and the Zora. Like,
yeah.
And so like Zora, you see Zora all the time, but God, do I miss the Kokori every day.
Yeah, we were talking about that when we did Majora, right? How even there, it's like, it's kind of interesting how it's Deku scrubs instead of Kokiri, and then you never get Kokiri again, except in a flashback in Wind Waker, or in a ghost in Wind Waker, rather.
if there was a half good like there is Pokemon Essentials for RPG Maker, if there was a half good Zelda one of those that just was like, here's the Minish Cap tile set, go wild.
Yeah.
I would make a game that has every like forgotten species. It would be like you don't get Zora, you don't get Goron, you get like the fucking Magma, the Kokiri, like the Minish, like
those Limo guys who are in the DS games.
Yes, the pirates from the DS games, not from the DS games, from the Oracle games, like just the skeleton pirates.
The skeleton pirates, the robot pirates from Sword, also get them in there.
How'd you get up here?
Don't worry about it. Did you fly here?
No. Then. Also, this guy.
Yeah, I don't know. No, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it's a thing where I hear you on, like, I miss the Kokiri, I miss so-and-so, but, like, at the same time, I am kind of like, I think it is more special that there are some species of Hyrulean thing that are, like, special to some games, right? Do I, everyone, when Tears of the Kingdom trailers started coming out, everyone thought the Twilight were coming back, and they didn't. Like, it turned out to be the Zonai. It might have been, like, more interesting if it was the return of the Twilight. I get, wanting to invent something new, especially with the Breath timeline feeling so separate from everything else. But, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't super mourn the groups we're not seeing come back again and again, but it does make me a little, like, well, does it have to always be Goron and Zora? Like, can't we just have one where you've got some other ones, like you're saying? Nice job.
A big problem with how I play this game, and like even Tears of the Kingdom, is just I will go like, can I make it? Nah, fuck. All right, run it back. It's a trial and error game, baby. That's part of why people love it so much. I love every like Zelda species because they are so fascinating. They are so cool. They all do such different shit. Do I have to reclimb that thing? I have to fucking climb that thing. Are you kidding me?
Do you? Do you have to go back up there? You did your stuff up there.
But my waypoints are gone.
Now. Yeah, you just go. Oh shit! Right. You can teleport to the top of it.
I mean, I know where they all are.
Well, you can also just teleport to the top of the tower.
That is true. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna listen to you.
Just go. Just beam yourself up there.
I know.
Not to just keep talking about why I like the Sheikah tech. The reason I like the Sheikah tech, Zelda sometimes struggles to like have futuristic looking tech exist in its world. Like the robots in Skyward Sword are a little silly. I love them, but they're kind of silly because they're supposed to be even older than the oldest game in the timeline, and they're like fully functional robots.
Yeah, and
I always thought that was a little weird.
And in Skyward Sword, like the ancient super special race is like, hi, we're fucked up little bird guys.
Yeah, there's little bird guys, there's mole people, there's the like seahorse people.
Mm-hmm.
There's one Sheikah who seems to be the only person on Earth. But I like the Sheikah stuff as a really good representation of something that feels like futuristic technology. But other than the Sheikah slate and the Puripad later, doesn't just look like computers. Like it looks future, like that teleport you just did reminds me of getting fucking beamed into the Matrix, but not too much to break the illusion, I guess.
I feel you. All right, big boy. What do you got? You ready? You ready for this? Fuck you, dickhead.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Do we even want to get into fucking destroyable weapons as a point of criticism? I guess we like have to, right?
Yeah, I can do it real quick. I just played through most of the game this year, and after a little bit, I didn't feel like it was that bad. Like, genuinely, I am gonna be that guy now and tell you I don't think it's that bad.
After this game, after playing Tears of the Kingdom, I think this game does it better.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, because in Tears of the Kingdom, you find all these weapons, but they're fucked, right? And it's like, hey, glue something to it, and now it's still gonna break instantly. And it's like, well, now what the fuck am I doing here? But like with this, I'm like picking up actual weapons, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I get it. Like this works.
Yeah, I think it is very fun to go into the fight with Ganondorf with like, or the fight with Calamity Ganon. Sorry, with like 7 claymores that you found in Hyrule. On the way there, you're having them. One breaks, pull out the next. That like I feel like I'm Wolfwood Trigun pulling guns out of his cross. You know, like it's a cool feeling, and both games do get that. But yeah, I don't know. I like that feeling, and I think that once you just kind of get into the flow of this is how this game works, it's not actually a problem unless you let yourself get really mad at him.
Unless you're just
I hope it doesn't sound too dismissive. I don't know.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I don't want to sound too dismissive to people who do have problems with it. That is kind of how I feel about it. I don't think you're ever left too wanting for weapons, really, is the thing.
It's more so that just like I like a special weapon and a special item, and I like to hold on to it forever. And this game does turn every special weapon you get into better put that away.
Yeah, which I do think there should be a thing, like, there should be a difficult to get, but in the game, like, coating you can put on weapons that makes them, like, permanent. Or even makes them be protected from all harm for, like, I don't know, 1 full hour of in-game time. It doesn't even have to be forever. Just give me a thing I can keep to keep something, I guess.
It's up top.
I don't think it doesn't ruin the game for me, but I do agree that it do be like that. Yeah. How are you doing there, buddy? How you getting a little cold? You're probably about to die up here.
I don't have any food on me.
I forget where you go to get.
Probably not straight to like a beeline.
Yeah, it's probably the game wants you to do the other ones first or whatever. I don't know. There's got to be something you can get.
I was hoping the'd be a cave around here, just some kind of food, but nope.
No, you've died of exposure.
That happens.
You've Oregon trailed.
What do we have? 4th death?
4th death, I do believe. Yes.
Drink.
I think easily the most in an episode of Historia Homies. I do believe. It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You're still up here and freezing. It's good that you came back to life right here.
Don't worry. I have an idea.
Your idea is amiibo?
My idea is, what if I bring in some food?
Ah, okay. Hey, listen. The amiibo summoning thing is there with all the runes in your menu. It counts as a power in the game. This Link can do this. This is a thing that Link can do.
What do you got? Yes. Thank you, Toon
That's not
Link.
gonna protect you from the cold.
No, it'll protect me. Uh-oh.
That could have been the funniest shit in the world. If it went just a little differently.
All right. Now we have food to eat, so we can keep ourselves above 0. Oh, hey. Hey, freaks.
Hey, what's up? Can I have your fire?
What's up? I got a big thing now. I can't remember how to use it, but I'm gonna figure it out.
You got to do the throw button, but now you can just insta kill them with. Wow, that's a good fucking boomerang. It's Link's boomerang. It makes sense. It would be good.
Yes, exactly. All right. Okay.
All right. Now just stay here and save Hyrule from this fire, and you'll be fine.
No.
There you go. There you go, buddy.
Oh no! I sprinted. That's on me.
I do like that, like part of why these games are great is like there are these kind of open-ended ways you can get to these things. Like I'm sure if you'd done things a different way, the old man would have there would have been a tunic or something.
Here's
somewhere,
some spicy
right? Or like
peppers.
food you could have made that would protect you. Yeah, right.
You should interact
peppers.
with the cooking system, and I'd go. No. I'm not going to do that.
Are you anti-cooking in this game?
I'm
in
not
general?
anti-cooking. Like I think it's fine. I am never in my life going to sit and cook things one at a time, slowly, and then look up the recipe. I'm not doing that shit. No.
It does take some time. I do agree with that. I like it though. I like putting things. I like mixing things together in bowls and pans.
I think I can't fucking take that from you. Like I understand why you would
Sure.
like that and why that's cool. You know what I mean? Like that is one of those things that I'm like, nah, this isn't the game's problem. This is on me.
Yeah. Wait, oh god. Oh, I thought you were really gonna beef it there for a second.
Don't you worry, baby. I got it. I'm
the whole time.
perfect.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
try.
I thought I was like, can I make it work? Can I figure it out in my head? Oh,
I got you, baby.
Damn.
Oh, damn. It sounds a little bit like you're doing baby voice, and that's not great, but you know. We make jokes however we can. We make jokes honestly, not beautifully. If ever there was a sentence worthy of you and me on a stream, I feel like it's that.
No matter what, we are giving it our best. It's just a matter of fact that sometimes our best ain't very good.
Sometimes our best is real stupid.
Historia Homies.
Oh,
I recently was watching Dimension 20, and they're doing they did a whole season of fucking stoats or whatever, right? And one of the stoats had an allergy to pet dander, which made Zay talk like this the entire time. He just,
oh my god.
hey, what are you doing?
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Fucking funny. I just now think about that.
How many episodes are you hearing that voice for? Like, how long is the season of D20?
That was so that's a character that showed up and then like vanished. So he's like in 3 total episodes and about 20 minutes each. You know what I mean?
That feels like about enough.
Yeah, it's funny and it gets in and out. That season, very good. A lot gorier than you'd think. Ow. Eat some
You
fish.
just did one of the most common things that any of us and all of us do with the stasis power, which is forget that it has to reload.
Yep, it's fine. I made it. All right, what do we got here, baby? Iron Sledge. Hey, Nine and Niels.
Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. Yeah, so we were talking about briefly. Hi, Nine of Niels. We were talking about briefly earlier. How are you feeling being back to the Breath of the Wild runes after having the Tears powers for so long?
I do miss just being able to like smash it together like that. I did get really attached to that, but but to be completely honest, that's not very Zelda. This is pretty Zelda.
You don't think so?
This is Zelda still to me. Like I will have bombs and shit. Like these have limitations in ways that I love building shit in Tears. I really do. But it is really, it's just not Zelda to me.
I have thoughts on that I'm sure will develop for me anyway before we get to Tears. So I want to bookmark that because I don't think I agree. I don't think I feel the same way, but I want to get into it when we get to that game. I think that's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way until we really started this, and like I started listening to other Zelda podcasts. We can't shout out Hello Hyrule every time, but like I know it happens.
we love them, but we can't. I know.
Now my thing is like after like really considering what do I like about Zelda games, it just I spend more and more time sitting here going, well, none of this really.
None of this. None of what's going on in Breath of the Wild. What is missing for you in just what we're doing right now? You don't have to even think about the entirety of the game. Like, what we're doing right now?
Other people. And that's a stylistic choice that they made consciously and wanted to do. Like that's not even like they want you to miss other people. And like I miss that sense of community. I miss like I'm here in Zelda kind of in the same way I'm here to play Sonic to like see the characters I like. And like I don't know, like obviously this game's not going to have a bunch of characters I like. It is what mostly has is randos who live in a place that's kind of like the place I know.
Nice.
We're good.
Oh, you live.
Not for long.
Yeah, which I get that. It's interesting because like that isn't a thing. Like other Zelda games have been that way, right? Like that is like a big Zelda 1 thing. Is you're just out in the world. We'll talk about Link to the Past at some point. I am a big Link to the Past lover. boy, that is an empty Hyrule in that game. It is the castle in Kakariko Town, and that's like it in that game. And so like,
and so everyone else's internet all died at once, and I don't know what that is. I was laughing really hard because Link hit a Skulltula, and like I picked up the head, and then he punted it with his foot to kick it away like a soccer ball.
The punt was the exact moment that the stream cut out. Like the punt hit, the skulls start to fly, boom.
I looked up and I saw Jay didn't react to that. I guess Jay didn't think it was funny. And,
I would never not react to that. Don't you think me a fool?
Fuck you. Fuck you too as well. All right. Oh, what are we doing here? You have
your stream to me is not back, but I can watch it delayed on the Twitch channel.
I can hand it back. There's something that has been happening with all of my shit, and I don't know what it is, but like every electronic in my house is starting to go haywire, like I'm like it's being possessed. So I need to figure out what's going on. How do I fucking arrows? Bow and arrows.
You got some haunted wire? Sounds like.
Where the fuck is my? How do I get my bow and arrows? There it is. Oh, I don't have any arrows.
Oh, that'll do it. I'm sure you get them from someone somewhere. I'm sure someone gives you some.
Okay. I have a boomerang. This guy gives me arrows. I just have to stand here long enough.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's got to kill him a bit.
Hey, fuck you.
To what we were talking about before the great calamity there. I do get what you mean. I do totally get what you're saying. Where like, like Ocarina has, you're immediately in Kokiri Forest meeting all these Kokiri. Fucking Majora, you're immediately in Clocktown. All the most like this is kind of the first one we've done so far that has that kind of desolation right at the opening, really.
And again, it's intentional. They want that to happen. And like I think they do succeed in it, but it just bums me out. And like it's
I get that.
I like to see their silly little lives, and it goes further to be like I don't really like any of the villages in this. Like none of them stand out to me.
You don't like Kakariko Village in this? I think Kakariko Village in this is so good.
I gotta look at it with like full eyes, but I remember coming out of this game going, well, I don't know if I can remember the name of any of those villages.
Wow. I wonder how much of that is just like design choice not being to your liking versus like, it just not being the one. Some of them not being like ones from, not to be like it's nostalgia, idiot, but there is a thing, right, where like. Yeah. They have there's a Kakariko in this, but then there's also like Hateno Village, which I couldn't tell you what it's like, and Lurelin Village, which is like a fishing place. Couldn't tell you anything about it. And I do agree that like they're not necessarily all the most unique ones. I think the Rito civilization is really unique, where it's all built around the big tree.
That does rule. I just I also have the thing with Rito where I just really like the Wind Waker designs, and I'm not as big of a fan of the Birdier designs.
Really? Yeah.
But again, this is just me. Like this is my beef and shit. You know what I mean? And like small stylistic. I don't want to sound like too much of a hater. You know what I mean?
And you mentioned being worried about that like last time we streamed. I don't think you are sounding like you're a hater. I think you're just voicing normal opinions that it's okay to have.
Okay, all right.
And to your credit, you're having them about a game that is one of the most celebrated games of the last like 20 years, which does make it hard, right? Because like, if you do have complaints about this game, you kind of get shit on for it a little. Like, all right, like we're talking about the weapon durability thing, right? Like to me, my answer is it's actually not that big a deal once you get used to it. I'm one person. Like, not everyone has, the same tolerance for those things. Are you
telling me society isn't a monolith, Jay?
I hate to tell you this, but it is unfortunately not a monolith.
I need to get more amiibos really quickly because I'm running out of weapons and food.
I love that we're trying to be like, let's rate the opening couple hours of every Zelda game, and your opening crucial couple hours of this game are using amiibos that you had on the shelf that you bought after you bought this game.
I had most of these at the same time I was playing this game. I was an amiibo collector for a smidgen there because I worked at a video game store.
Yeah, no,
Ike,
that's
what do you have
very
for
fair.
me? Ike, you got some raw meat. Thank you.
Oh, I forgot that non-Zelda ones would work. I thought only the Zelda ones would work.
And Charizard, what you got? This is what in Tears of the Kingdom I just go to the Goron place and then just like sit in the the heat and just summon in a bunch of fish over and over.
Listen, as with everything in this game, if it works, it works. Like if it's in the game, they intend for you to potentially think of solving things that way. Like, you know, so much of Zelda is just about problem-solving tools, right? Talking about like what items and power Zelda to use. It's you know, they what's the most effective problem-solving tools and stuff. And that's something I have a lot of thoughts on with Tears of the Kingdom, but it's also here where like everything is that. I remember there's a shrine in this. Maybe they do it twice. There's at least one where it's a like marble in a maze puzzle that uses the gyroscope on the controller and you have to tilt it in different directions.
I like that puzzle. That's fun.
I do. You know the cheating way to win it?
It's like you flip the whole shit upside down, right?
You flip it upside down and just guide it in. And I will. Should I call them out? Whatever. They'll never watch this, and they're. My old friend I. Coleman from Hey Poor Player, the game website I did stuff for a long time ago, they will not mind me gently poking. They were a legendary contrarian, which I have been as well. Well, we'll get to my contrarianism when you and I play Ocarina of Time.
That's gonna be fascinating to hear.
It will be. It's a lot of opinions I no longer hold, but my friend... Coleman was very much that way about this game, where they were very much trying to find a reason that everything about this game was bad, and the Switch as a whole. Like they have vocally, I don't mind saying that without it being too much of a call out, because they have vocally been like, yeah, that was silly. But I remember us having a whole conversation where they were like trying to say that was like really bad puzzle design, and I was like, no. That's like, if you can think of it, they want to reward you for having thought of it. And that is so much of like the best puzzle design in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think, is all just like, if you can think of it, they want you to feel good for having thought of it.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that pretty explicitly. Like, I think you are just right there. Can I get you to please, Doctor?
You gotta rotate it the right way. Can you do that with this? No, you can't really with this. It's all kind of right. You're also about to die of hypothermia again.
It's fine,
buddy. There's peppers somewhere. Oh yeah, you got them. There we go. You gotta cook them. You gotta cook them, Riley.
I don't need to do shit.
Riley, the video game tells you gotta cook them, Riley.
The video game hasn't told me that yet, Jay.
I told you that in the menu, if you can read the menu. Okay, it's right there. It says this pepper will warm you up if you cook it first. See, I can't get mad at you the way that like Andrew gets mad at you, because I'm just like, ha, yes, yes, good. It's good that Riley's doing this.
This is true to the way I play these games. We're just like, hut. All right, slam more apples.
Yeah, which is fine, right? And again, like it's an option. Like you're making it through this starting area that way, and because you can, you will.
Riley is a literate theory going strong. Real Tristan Valentine over here. That's so funny.
A real Roronoa Zoro over here.
Yeah. I know.
Oh god.
You tell me what I'm gonna eat. Electric said, speaking of amiibos, do y'all have any Zelda merch you want to show off? I have asked for Christmas for the Fig Arts Zelda Link figure, because I suddenly realized I didn't have any Zelda merch. I was like, well, I want it.
I just set up, I have like a figure shelf that's mostly amiibo, but a few other things. And I'm looking down at it right now. There's some Zelda stuff on it.
Don't look down on your toy collection.
I physically have no choice. I'm also looking up because there's a Witch from Mercury Gundam up there, and a Lego set over there, and Homestuck plushie over there. They can't all be perfect. But I have, when the Wind Waker HD version on Wii U came out, it came with, if you pre-ordered it, it just came with a really nice Wind Waker Ganondorf figure.
Oh, that's cool.
I can pluck and show. Come here.
Oh, look at him. That's my Ganondorf.
Here he is now. Yeah, I love this Ganondorf. He looks really good. He's in a great pose. He's got the swords. Look at the side. Look at the width of this man's
Yeah.
sleeves. What
Yeah.
does he keep it in there?
Swords?
I guess
Swords and
I've
kids
always
with pointy
loved
ears.
The back of his robe looks really good. Like it's a great figure.
Oh, at the Chicago. Oh, you at the fucking Kinder Market, Nine Neals. Found a stall with a poncho with anime shit, and I bought a Sonic poncho. That rules.
Oh, that's great. There you go. Now you've got cryosis, so you can make it cold so that you freeze to death all the time, no matter where you are.
a weird power, right? Like, is it just a little weird? Like, I don't know. The rest of them feel kind of like directed, but like, it's like, and the ice one.
I would say that the ice one and the magnet one are kind of like bombs and stasis feel a lot more universal. And ice and magnets feel a lot more like elemental and specific, I guess. Like those two are dictated entirely by finding certain types of material. It's like this only works on water, this only works on magnets. Whereas the other two, like stasis is like, I was about to say anything moving. It doesn't even have to be anything moving. You can use it on all sorts of stuff that's not moving. And like bombs just blow up.
Kaboom. Ancient
like that.
Squoo. Yeah, I want. Like, there's so many Zelda. I want. There's a Toon Link Nendroid. That like they've got it. Like that's him. That's my boy. And I will never find it.
I do like that Nendroid. I've seen it. Let me ask you this. A question is forming in my mind, and this is for both the powers in this and in Tears of the Kingdom. Do you feel like they would feel more like, I know you said the ones here feel more like Zelda to you there, but in both cases, do you feel like they'd feel more like Zelda to you if they were like physical items you were pulling out instead of just like
I've opened up the bomb app on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would a little bit. I think the Tears abilities are probably beyond item. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's a structural change of the world in the game. And I don't know, I like that there's an infinite amount. I get that, but
they're also I would argue the Tears one maybe is closer because there it's all you have a funky magic arm that's giving you all those powers.
That's true.
Whereas in this, I often forget that it's all like the Sheikah Slate. Like I often just think of it as these are powers that Link has, but no, it's all the Sheikah Slate.
I'm missing one.
Yeah, you need to get bombs.
You need to get the BAMs.
You need to go bam.
I need to go BAMs. Stupid.
Very stupid. We're back to baby talk a little bit.
What's wrong with that, you know?
That's up to us to figure out. If there's something wrong with it, Riley, you and me, buddy, we'll find it.
Right, are you looking at it naturally just over here? Blue guy.
You said one more.
Yeah,
I think it's lower because you've gone to two that are up in the snow. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, there it is. It's literally, no offense, it's literally supposed to be the easiest one to get to, I think.
Shut the fuck up. Now I gotta climb down this tower again, and you know there's only one way to
glider.
climb.
You can jump.
I don't have a glider yet, specifically.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. Right, I forgot. That's the whole deal here. Is you can't free yourself of this place. How do you feel about like this place?
Oh,
nice
cool.
job.
I'm alive.
Oh, nice. Hey, nice job.
There you go.
Unsarcastic.
Knees of steel, dickhead.
I like the Great Plateau as like, we're gonna give you a whole open world, but here's a starting zone. I think it works pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid starting zone, and frankly, like this tutorial, while a little long to me, is good. Like it does tell you like this is what the game is, and this is what you should expect, and like that is what you want a good tutorial to do.
Yeah.
Thinking more about like the things that frustrate me about this game, or things that I bounce off of, I guess is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of the like the dungeons are necessary to Zelda, because it's like, yeah, I mean they still kind of have dungeons, but like there's something about like the act of like each dungeon gives each town, and that's actually it. Hold on. The dungeons give each town something special, which gives it a story and a spirit. You know what I mean? Like, I know the Shadow Temple. I know Kakariko. I know the Forest Temple. I know I know fucking Kokori Village, Kokori Forest.
Yeah.
In this one, yeah, they've got these big guys, but there's so many towns that don't have a thing. And I understand not every town can have a thing, but it's a Zelda game, so every town kind of should have a thing. And I think having this is the landmark nearby, and there's some weird shit, makes me more emotionally connected in a way that like I am not now. That's just the thing I'm like thinking through right now. Like why does the argument, oh, this game doesn't have dungeons, exist? And do I agree with that and do I not? And like I don't think I agree with it exactly. I think it is the it is the why does this game not have dungeons? Like wah. It's why do none of the towns have a ton of personality?
That I think that is a good, because like to sort of add to that, you know, the dungeon, because I would argue definitively yes, they do have dungeons. That is what the divine beasts like definitively are, right? But like the divine beasts are not things of like cultural importance. They're just like everyone in the Gerudo village and, you know, like all four of those places are just kind of like, yeah, there's this fucking annoying thing that keeps walking around, stirring up a sandstorm, or like, you know, poisoning our water, or doing this, doing that. They are of like cultural importance to them, and they are like defining features. I do love that, like, you know, you defeat the bird one and it perches on top of the Rito village. They all like have those lasers they're pointing towards the center. They're all visible on the map, but it does feel like all of their culturally important things are the same thing rather than being unique to them. Like they have stuff that's unique to them, like you know, the Goron and they all have stuff that's unique to them, but it is fun when the dungeon gets to be part of that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think sages are used weirdly in every game because I like the idea of sages so much, and I feel like they're not. I feel like something more interesting could be done with them, I guess. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense?
I think the sages are a really, really loose concept.
And they are.
Which is fine, but like I don't really know what it means to be a sage, because I feel like every Zelda game has a different purpose for them, and so a different concept of what they are and should be.
Yeah.
And maybe that's fine, right? Maybe the sages just should be a thing that is kind of malleable and changes over the series, but like, because what in Ocarina, the sages. Are the sages what power up? What are the sages actually for in Ocarina?
In Ocarina, the 7 sages help seal Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm.
Right.
They
seal him.
And like they're like characters that you know that you've met through your time, and like then like they all are part of the Sacred Realm to help give you the juice to lock Ganon away.
I think in some of the older, like A Link to the Past, where they refer to like the 7 wise men or something that kind of becomes the sages. I think there it's a lot more like they exist in the Sacred Realm. They kind of watch the Triforce and make sure it's doing okay. I will say, please do not skip through his dialogue when he's like dropping the lore in a minute, just because I think it's like important that we actually go through that.
Gotcha.
Here, but like when we're like meeting him in the
no,
chapel.
Totally. I think that is a good shout.
Yeah, but like in Wind Waker, there's the 2 sages. Their job is to awaken the Master Sword. They don't really have shit to do directly with Ganon. And then I don't know. I know they're in Tears of the Kingdom. I know that like the champions who do help you fight Ganon are not sages. Or I don't know. Maybe they say retroactively that they were. But like from what I know about how the sages work in Tears, it seems like they are a very different thing functionally in that.
Yeah.
Like
they feel like champions.
Yeah. It's we'll talk about it. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are very fascinating games because from the get-go, Tears of the Kingdom was being referred to as like something that made this game feel like a beta, feel like a first draft. And I think that kind of goes in both directions in some ways. Like you can see some things that like, I'm often talking about how if you were to combine the best things about Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you would have the best Pokemon game. I feel kind of the same way about the best things of these 2 respective Zelda games.
I think that is correct. I think this one has a stronger... I think this one has a stronger narrative, while
Yes.
like Tears has a stronger. Tears has stuff that makes me mark out, makes you go like, oh. But conquered, I can offer you great power. So this is the goddess Hylia speaking to us, right?
Yeah, we should talk about that. Yeah, it's Hylia as an entity is such a relatively new concept to the Zelda franchise, and I like this system a lot. I think the whole like getting orbs to increase your stamina or hearts is a good system. I think it works well.
I think I agree with you.
I think it's a good way to make progression feel natural. It's a good way to like incentivize you to keep hitting these shrines and do their little puzzles. It's a good way to make heart containers not be frustrating in the same way that it often was, where it's like you never really knew what puzzles would lead you to one. Now you have a bit more of a sense of what leads you to them, and it's still I don't know. There's still variety to it.
I like that the stamina one looks like the. Look, I just delivered another beer. Thank you, hon.
Nice.
Oh, I like the stamina one looks like the Korok seed. Looks like the Furor's like emerald, the Kokori emerald.
Whoa, it does. I never thought of that.
Now that does make me wish that like we had a like the Goron Ruby and the like fucking, it's not Nehru's Pearl, is it? It's like the Zora Sapphire.
The Zora Sapphire. It's the Gen 3 Pokemon games. That's how you remember it.
Oh, we're in the fucking. Would you like to do some reading, Jay?
Sure. I do want to come back to that thought, but yes. The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly.
All right. Ascend. Shit.
Oh, no. But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because those three, like the symbols are in other games, right? But those items are only in Ocarina. Like,
those
that's
items
just
are only in Ocarina, yeah. But like, I think Din and Nehru's symbol gets moved forward to Wind Waker. Furor's gets that sucks.
Well, no, they're all in Wind Waker.
Furor's is changed slightly. Furor's is not the circle. Furor's is 3 lines to a circle at the top left, circle at the top bottom right. I would draw those symbols all the time growing up. Man. Because
I think you're thinking of Nehru's is the Zora's one, which is the 3 circles with the crescents kind of between them.
Yep.
Because Din's, I see what you're saying, but Din's doesn't look like the Goron Ruby. Goron Ruby is a different thing. The Goron symbol has always been that like diamond with the 3 little spikes, and that's what the Goron Ruby looks like.
You're right. Why?
But to your point,
why are you stopping
it is
me?
interesting.
Game?
That is weird. Why though?
That's fine. It wants me to take the ladder. I get it.
But like to your point, it is kind of funny that the Zora one is the only one that directly gets to be that directly
forward.
like gets to translate into being a goddess symbol like that.
And I guess I just also miss Nehru, Furor, and Din.
It is interesting that we only talk about Hylia now.
Mm-hmm. It feels that same way when like somebody new starts writing the comic you like.
Yeah,
and you're like, but I want to know more about Harper Row. How's she doing?
Sure.
Well, here we go.
Now then, the time has come to
Oh,
show
no, they're
you. Shall I
talking,
just
Jay.
let the French?
Yeah,
I'll let
let the
the French play out.
Je m'appelle Roam Foramus Irus.
Je m'appelle King Rome Daphneus Hyrule is really funny, and I don't really know why. There's just something about Je m'appelle Link. Oui. Yeah, there he is. I like this a lot.
I forgot you see him at the beginning of this game.
Yeah.
He's no King of Red Lions, which is my favorite Hyrule King, but like I like it.
Hashtag not my king. You're going not my king mode here.
Je n'ai pas survécu à la tragédie.
I do like the idea that the ghost of the last king of Hyrule has stuck around for the last 100 years just to wait for you to wake up. You're the one thing he's been waiting for. Like, that is like incredibly compelling.
You know something interesting is like look at the structure of his face and imagine it with red hair. It's a little Ganon-y, ain't it? A little Ganondorf-y.
Well,
You see what I'm talking about? Like he's got the larger nose, he has the ears, he has the way that his hairline sits.
C'est au sein même du
I can kind of see it. I don't know if they're doing anything with it, but I can see it.
bien des siècles.
I'm just asking the questions.
No, listen, we're doing something with it. It doesn't matter at this point if they're doing something with it. We're doing it for them. Here we go. Here's one, I really like this whole lore. Two, it's always been very interesting how Link in this image, that's a Ganondorf. Like that's like you just mentioned that about I believe that there is more about who that is in Tears or something. I don't entirely know. I've been like kind of hinted at that, but I've always just found it interesting how not Link-like that figure looks.
It's very interesting. I find the idea of Zelda lore fascinating because it is not meant to be connected, but when you connect it, it makes something interesting happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I do.
It makes questions that are interesting to ask. This idea of excavating all the guardians is so cool.
That's the thing, right? Is like talking earlier about how like the Sheikah tech feels futuristic without feeling like computers. Similarly, the idea of a Zelda game that is so rooted in like archaeology gone wrong is fascinating. Like
Look at
I
the way
love it.
they like really take in, like, make those faces. Like, you are right. There's something fucked about them.
There's something very expressive about that entire art style that I really love. I love just the art of all the, we'll see it in a minute, but all the guardians around them during that battle. Yeah, and this is also interesting, like Link, and you know, collecting his memories is a whole part of this, but like Link had an entire life before this game begins, to a degree that feels maybe like he had the most of one that he's ever had in any of these games.
Yeah.
Where, you know?
I agree with you. I don't know if I want to like see that necessarily, but I'm like interested, you know what I mean? Like, what is his how did he get here? What happened? Like,
And I think you see some of that. No, go.
play Age of Calamity. But
Well, play Age of Calamity. That's also like the whole incentive of like finding his memories in this game, right? Is like you're supposed to be able to get bits of that. I wish there were more of the memories and that they went farther into him, honestly. But like you do get bits of that.
yeah, this is tight. Deep below Hyrule Castle. How interesting.
That is something interesting, right? How like they were planting stuff for Tears of the Kingdom, or for whatever ideas they had that would become Tears of the Kingdom from this point. Like it seems, it really does feel like they always intended, like from the get-go, we are gonna make a sequel to this after we finish making this. That's like the Zonai ruins are there, all this stuff.
This is why I like a little bit by the like it's a triptych. There's gonna be a third. There's gonna be a third in the trilogy.
I know. I don't think there will be now after how Nintendo's talked about it, but I'll tell you, like, have a third one. Have it be, oh, Demise is back. Like actual
I would
Demise
kill
is
to
back.
see Demise.
That's
would
what
be
it has to be.
so
right?
cool. Like,
Because we've had Ganon, we've had Ganondorf. Now you have to have Demise somehow himself, the original one, come back.
Yeah, like we're saying, like Legend of Zelda is not meant to actually connect to itself. But if you have so much to work with, bring it back, baby.
Yeah, and also it's not like this game isn't already referencing Skyward Sword. Like, your sword, the Master Sword, literally makes fee noises when you get fee. I forget how you say
Yeah.
it. Literally it gives off a Google Fi signal. It literally does that. You've got references to that game. Like, they clearly, like, you know, they want to keep that as the starting point for the lore of this franchise, regardless of what timeline this game is in. I think they absolutely do that.
Well, in Tears, like in that first memory that you see, right? That first one where you see where the Master Sword, like some shit happens.
It travels back in time.
Fi's
into
there.
Zelda's
You hear her. Zelda talks to her.
Yeah, right.
Like, she is real. And like, I want to see them all again. Like,
that in itself is like more a direct nod than I would have even expected at that point.
simply, I'm kind of like, I'm at a point with Zelda where I'm like, I'm tired of references. I want to see characters I've seen before in new ways, because that's the thing I like. I like to see Beetle every time. That makes me smile. I like to see the new Zelda. I like to see how they've processed these characters. I just think you could put Medley in any game and just she's completely different, and I would mark out. I'd be like, oh shit. You can put Mulan in any game, I'd freak out. Like, you just gotta, I don't know. You got these characters, and you have this thing where it's like a anthology show almost, where every season's different, but it's the same actors, and I just want to see more of those actors back.
I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think if you do too much of bringing every character back, then the expectation just grows and grows, and that becomes a big negative thing that's hanging on those games. Yeah. I get what you mean. Where like, yeah, there's always an Impa. There's been a couple Malons. There have been like some recurring ones, but like you mentioned, Medley's just a Wind Waker character.
Medley's just Wind Waker.
Like, she's specific to that. I think you mentioned Saria at some point before we were talking about. She's just Ocarina. Like a lot of these characters, I will kind of push back on you. I think like are significant because they are specific to the versions of Hyrule they're in.
Yeah, and I don't know. I hear that and I recognize that. But I'm just like, I don't know. There's something about having, like, I understand the want to, like, leave stuff on the table. And, like, all right, we'll come back to this later.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you can do so much with them that it feels like you're not only just leaving stuff on the table, but you're just like, you're wasting is the wrong word. But I feel like you could be doing something with it.
I guess. I don't know. I kind of what I'll say on that is that I do think like I wish the champions in this game were stronger characters and weren't only relegated to memories and being ghosts. I think they are kind of the most defined characters you have, and they're very limited. Having not played a lot of Tears, I am curious if that game feels more fleshed out in terms of characters, because not to diagnose your feelings here, but like also how cool is it to be gliding down into the rest of Hyrule from here?
That's cool. That like, the gliding is tight. Like I get this. This opening, like this opening is very like narrative and stylish and thematic, and I think it accomplishes what it wants to accomplish. I just wish like there's stuff that I wish it wanted for differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you. I don't know. But to that point, like. I don't think this game has the most well-defined and memorable. Like the most memorable characters are for dead people. Like that is a problem this game suffers from. I think, I have not played Tears. I know people like Pura. A lot of people like Pura because she's hot, but because they made her hot. Like whatever. But like she is also like she is kind of one of the more well-defined characters. I know people really like the Rito kid who you get. I don't know his name. Tulin, I think, right?
Yeah. I haven't finished that. I haven't finished that mission yet, so I haven't got him. But I know he
people love
exists.
them. Yeah. Like I think it seems like Tears is doing more to like make its character nice.
Go on.
Immediate. Hey, you know what? You jump off that plateau and it's dangerous. It's dangerous to go along.
It's scary down there, isn't it?
You've taken this. But yeah, I don't know. I think Tears of the Kingdom seems like it is doing more work, than this game to like have memorable characters, and I think maybe that's part of what you're missing here. Is it's not necessarily, oh, thank God we have these Xenoblade 2 promotional side quests they put in this game.
Oh, we gotta do that.
It's you run around and find some stars that are some falling stars that are red. You find some red stars. Hey, y'all like Bed Bath & Beyond? But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I wonder if you would feel that way about this game if there were more distinct and memorable characters introduced in this game than there are. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I know some people. For some people, the champions really sit with them well. But like, yeah. And because for me, they just don't. But I think that's just because of my like. I don't know. I don't think I'm like at a point where I'm like, I'm done taking in new characters. But I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, that's what's funny because I don't mean this as a burn. I do think you sound a little like you're done taking in new characters, but I know that you don't mean it that way, and so I'm trying to like figure out what is it? Because
what
I don't
I mean.
think it is that. My friend Riley's not a grumpy 65-year-old. Like, well, that's not what's happening. You're a grumpy 30-year-old.
And frankly, I'm barely grumpy.
Yeah. Just wait until you get to be 65 or whatever I said. But yeah, I guess that's what it is, right? Because, like, you know, you mentioned earlier missing the sense of community. And you're right, this game doesn't have, like, a lot of towns. You don't start in a community anywhere. That's not the note it starts off on. It might just be that this game just, you know, like, the creative choices they're interested in are just not the ones you're interested in. And, like, there's the whole thing. Yeah, but, like, there's the whole thing now where they're talking about this game being a framework in some ways for the future of Zelda, which I think people are taking to mean more than it's going to mean, if I'm being honest. I think that is a much looser statement than some people are worried it is. But, like, I hope we get Zelda games that have character and charm in the ways that you're talking about, right? Because, like, just because this game doesn't have it doesn't mean no Zelda game should have it ever again, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. How did you... I feel like he killed me when he turned.
A little bit.
He just, like, moved the sword and was like, that's a hitbox, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, during the Game Awards, I was like, here it is, a 2D Zelda.
Wait, about what?
Like just every time they're like, and here's another world premiere.
Yeah. That I wonder about if we'll ever get a 2D Zelda that isn't just a remake. Like, I think we get Oracle remakes one of these days. In my dream world, we get Oracle remakes and they make Oracle of Secrets, the third one that they never made back in the day. That won't happen, but I would love it. I don't know if we ever get 2D Zelda games that are new again. I hope we do. I would like that very much.
In the same way that I just want Nintendo to go back to sprites, but they're like, nobody actually likes sprites. We did some research with our bosses, and they said nobody likes sprites.
Yep, the same way Pokemon will never look the way it used to again.
Hey, fuck up.
Speaking of sounding old, nice.
Oh shit, that didn't work.
Not quite. Oh, that was a good throw, dude. That was a good catch.
I feel very good with that.
The boomerang feels really good in this game once you get the hang of it. I really like how it feels in this.
I love to smash the A button and pray.
Yeah, exactly. I do like, by the way, you just like revolve the camera around quickly, and you do see like they do a good job of making, you know, for Nintendo kind of making their first open world on this scale, they do a good job of giving you landmarks that are visible from kind of any skyline, whether it's the towers being things that are very high up, or Death Mountain, or the Guardians as you start freeing the Divine Beasts, they start posting up in high places.
Yeah, this game is very stylish, and I even think like this lighting works better. Like, I don't know, it runs smoother, probably because it doesn't have to connect every single thing that Tears of the Kingdom needs to. But like, I think it just runs smoother and looks smoother because it's doing less.
Interesting.
Shh, don't look at me. Nobody look at me. I'm not here. Uh-oh.
Nice. You're good.
We're good.
Don't forget you can go stealthy mode if you want to, but also you don't even need to. Oh, that guy's gonna be strong, but it's fine. You'll get him in one.
Give me this. What's in here?
What beautiful treasure! Oh ho ho!
10
whole
arrows.
That's 10 headshots if you're good.
I only need one. Oh, never mind. Okay, bye guys.
Yeah, you're good actually.
They gave up.
I only need none of them.
Fuck. Come on.
Don't choke.
Yep.
Climbing these towers feels really good, I feel like.
I hear you. It does when you have more stamina bars, but that's just because I don't have the patience to climb. And I'm constantly like, hey.
You gotta game that shit. You gotta time it right. It seems like this game has a lot of things that try the Riley Hopkins impulses.
I think that's really it. It has a lot of like abrasion to it in ways that are intended, And I just unfortunately react to like friction like a child who's told you have to do your homework before you can have any candy.
Yeah, you're a why would I give my Pokemon any non-attacking moves type, and
Yeah.
I'm like, is this enough status effects?
I don't even know if that second marshmallow's ever coming, Jay.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That is exactly the shit. I think we've cracked it. I think we've found the defining thing. That jingle at the da na 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 na. Like I think that is a really good theme. I think this game has a better theme than Tears of the Kingdom. I'll tell you that. I like the Tears of the Kingdom one fine. But I like that. I like that opening. Da na 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 na. I just think that's a very good.
You should
series of
listen.
notes.
You should listen to the strong songs on both Tears of the Kingdom and Zelda in general, because I did end that episode crying. Like,
Wow.
I just because music's very important to me, and I will start sobbing if somebody talks about how much music means to them.
I'm with you. I'm with
Like,
you. I'm right here.
Did you watch Scott Pilgrim Takes Off?
I did.
With-
You gonna talk about the Knives jam?
Yeah, when
Knives
it's like
and Kim's incredible jam.
I started crying because I'm just like, this is beautiful. Like,
It's so
it
nice.
It doesn't need to be like a relationship that gives you sparks. Sometimes it's the magic of finding a thing that you love to do. And like,
Especially, oh man, don't get me started on that. Especially it being her as a 17-year-old kid learning from like someone who's a little bit more of an adult. Like them, like that is very special to me. Ah, God, good show. Everyone watch Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
that, and there's also there's a indie game, Unbeatable, I think is what it's called, and it's like a rhythm game, and like it hasn't come out yet. I think it's still in like alpha, but I bought it because like it was at a day of the devs. And it said like its tagline was "Lose your way, find your voice." And if I say that and don't push past it fast enough, my eyes immediately start to well up because I'm just like, that's beautiful to me. That's
That is beautiful. That's lovely. Also, I want to point out, I just watched you like impatiently stop and resume gliding 3 times, and I feel like the point is just making itself at this point.
Well, that wasn't actually, that was a strategy because I was up too high and I would have fallen and died.
That is
and so I was like, I was
escaping
dropping.
death, I see.
Yes. My strategy is you cannot tell where strategy starts and impatience begins.
You can't know your strategy if you don't know your strategy.
That's why I truly adopted playing games with this handhold because like I couldn't be fucking bothered to lift my finger off the buttons, right? Like because whenever I show this to people, they do go, "You're a fucking insane person."
You do feel a little bit like you're speed running all the time.
That's just because I don't want to stand still. I get the shivers.
I get those Triforce shapes. Hey, speaking of that powerful triangle, or no, yeah, go ahead and do your thing. I wanna.
What's good,
Nice.
fucko?
Oh, the mid-air arrow pull feels fucking incredible whenever
It truly
you can pull
does.
it off.
You're mine now. This is
Nice.
my horse
Oh,
now.
good immediate grab. Yeah, that's great.
It's totally my horse.
Did you use the Link amiibo and get a Epona when you were first playing through this?
I don't have the Link amiibo.
Oh,
I will say I did
I
that for
have-
Tears of the Kingdom though.
nice. I have specifically the one that is him on the horse, because I like him in the hood. I think him in the blue tunic and the hood is a really cool look. But I like that horse.
I can dig that. The blue. I think the. Sorry, I gotta get money enough to raise this horse.
Can't register your horse.
Okay, so actually, you know something fucking beautiful here? This is the thing I learned in that Strong Songs that talked about the Breath of the Wild music.
Yeah.
So there's this music here, right? And like when Cass is here, it adds in Lon Lon Ranch, because this
that's cool.
because this is perfectly built to fit Lon Lon Ranch. Because like, but
Right.
do do do.
Yeah, it does have the da na 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 na.
And when Cass is here, Cass plays Lon Lon Ranch. But like, yeah, I do not have a favorite Breath of the Wild horse because I truly don't care that enough about that much about the horses. I just want to get this one in there to name it Horsey.
I on the other hand, there's one particular stable that I feel like something. If you want to hear me talk more about this, listen to my episode of Select and Start with Kiefer, because we talked about open world games in that episode. And I talked about how in Breath of the Wild I finally understood the thing people have with open world games where they build very personal relationships to specific locations in them. Because there is one field full of horses near a stable. It's not this one, but somewhere in this game, I spent like 3 hours meticulously trying to get the best horse there. Frankly, I was bad at it, and eventually I finally got the fucker after like crouching and crawling through fields through like 2 different play sessions, just trying to get this guy from as far away as I could. Slowly, there's bokoblins far away who will roam in and ruin my shit, like all sorts of things. It starts raining, I get lightning struck on me while I'm near the horse behind him. Like so many things going wrong and starting over again. I have a good time. I don't know if I'm gonna have the patience to do it a second time. In Tears of the Kingdom, I'm probably just gonna load in one of my horses from the first game and never do that shit again. But it is something I have put time into in my life. It's true.
I in this game just got the motorcycle and called it a day. Like the motorcycle is the horse I remember the most. Otherwise, I don't really use the horse because it's never where I want it to be. Like that's the thing about these horses, like they don't come calling. They stay where they are.
No, you got to go to that. You got to go on their little horse hotels.
And I'm not doing that.
I do like the stables a lot. I like the stable. They're like Pokemon centers. Like I like them as a sort of anchor location.
I think I agree with you there. There we go. We can't name him Homie, but we can name it Horsey.
That's good. That's good.
See you next time.
You mentioned the blue tunic at the beginning. How do you feel about like Link not being in the green in this and just kind of the outfits he has in general?
I think the green is fine. I am a person who loves to play dress up. So I love that the game like will allow you to do that. However, the thing that I really want is like the blue's good, but like my favorite Link outfit, my favorite Link tunic is the Hyrule Warriors tunic, because it's the green, but it has that blue scarf.
It has that scarf? Yeah, the scarf is fun.
It calls up the blue. And like the blue's a good addition, but it doesn't do anything. Are you gonna give me anything? Or are you just gonna like, okay, cool.
He's got the scarf and he's also got like little armor plate on his shoulder that he doesn't normally have.
And that's tight.
Yeah, it looks good. I've always liked that scarf. I like the blue tunic. I like the use of that very vibrant blue. Again, like talking about this game as the start of a new era, right? I feel like the use of that bright blue everywhere is telling you like this is part of Zelda now. Like this is an emblematic thing of this new chapter of the franchise.
Which like it already had been, right? Wind Waker is that same color.
Yeah, but like that's more like I feel like it's used a little differently here, where it's like a thing that all the like in this game, Champion Tunic Link and all of his 4 champions are all wearing it. Zelda at the end has that on. Like it is the color of the Sheikah tech. It is the color of all these different things. I do, to your point with Wind Waker, it is kind of funny how much Link's blue tunic in this looks like Wind Waker Link's little lobster outfit he has at the start of the game.
It's a good fucking outfit. It's a good shirt. Everyone loves Lobster funny. Link. All right, what are you doing up here, big boy? Do I not have a bow?
A lot of good different outfits. Oh no! Oh, you do. There you go.
Hey,
I do. Good. Nice. This game does lean a lot on like the fire, ice, lightning, elemental stuff, which is fine.
It is fine. That works better in Tears of the Kingdom. Because you can just pop that shit on the top.
I think that the temperature stuff in the environment is like a good way to gate certain areas and like challenge you to figure out how to get into them. By the time I was done with the game, I was so fucking ready to not think about it ever again. Like I did not want to be changing outfits ever again. I didn't want to be eating different food ever again. It's fine. I was over it.
Yeah, the eating food shit's what gets me. That's where I'm like, can we cut this shit out? Can we go on a walk?
Oh, it's a great fairy fountain.
I think this is the Melania, right?
Donald Trump's wife? I don't think she's in this.
No. From Elden Ring.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
They just said the
wow.
name. Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember the names of any of these fairies.
Well, that's because this one's not a fairy. This one's the god of horses.
No, this isn't the God of Horses. The God of Horses is way south of here in like the Faron Woods, I think.
I got great news about how south we are.
Are we that south? No, okay, I guess, yeah, if it's the Thousand Rivers, I guess that is it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. Wow. This is the last area I went to in this game when I played it, and so it didn't even occur to me that that's where we were.
I'm truly just like fucking off. Like, and this is another problem is like, if I don't have like guidance that directly pulls me, I will just fuck off. And like, I know what you're saying. Riley, you have a waypoint that you're ignoring. I said directly pulls me. Like,
right. And I think that's completely valid. I mentioned earlier that I didn't play most of this game until this year. And that's like part of why is I'm just not a big open world games person. Like, I think Bethesda open world games are some of the most boring shit on earth because you just kind of get put in a place and get told some places you could go and that's it. And you know, like when I say that, I specifically am thinking of Fallout 3, a game that I think just that I have had some of the most frustrating experiences of my life with. But just like any game, any open world game like that, where it's just you've come out of a door. Here's a place you could go if you want. Go nuts. Like this to me. And you know, like I'm curious if you feel that way about as someone who does feel a little more like the waypointing maybe isn't enough for you. Like this game shows you like so much of a horizon where you can see different things. Like we were saying, you can see Death Mountain, you can see the towers and the shrines. There is enough like there's the E3 thing of see that mountain, you can go to it.
Yeah.
They use that really effectively in this game in a way that kind of strings you along across the map in a way that I think a lot of open world games don't do.
I agree with you, but I think that's part of why I've never finished I didn't finish Tears of the Kingdom, right? Is like I did fuck off. I just started going. I did a bunch of stuff. I played that game for like 40, 50 hours and I beat 2 temples. But I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. Because I just kind of got, saying sick of it feels too mean. That's not true. I just kind of got like, okay, I get it. Which is the problem.
I've had my game.
A problem I have with games now. I keep saying like, I get it, and then I stop, and I need to fix that about myself because like, I want to not just get it, I want to finish games, which is why I'm like forcing myself back to games now to be like, no, you're gonna eat your fucking vegetables, dude.
Get your broccoli on, motherfucker. I definitely get that. I have about 5 hours left in Sea of Stars, and I feel so bad because I have hit that wall right as a big like twist and turning point that is good has come along, but I'm just like, do it, damn man, I'm doing the same combos I've done for like 15 hours. I think I'm good.
I grow tired of this.
Game is. It's a fabulous video game. It deserved the best indie win last night, but Jesus Christ.
I do wish that as devs would have gotten on stage at all. It's fine. Everyone obviously agrees with us. Everyone knows we feel this way.
What a shit show.
What a fucking shit show. That rat of a man.
Yeah. Hey, so we're not at like the 2-hour mark yet, but we could start talking about our like numbies, couldn't we?
Yeah. Can you give me them numbies? Can you tell me a little bit about what you're thinking, and I'll work my way to you.
I would love to. So if you're just joining us or just forget, we've got categories for how to rank the opening of a Zelda game, how to rate it, and eventually rank it, including music, table setting, link design, Zelda autonomy, bad guy introduction, vibes, and bosses. So I'm gonna kind of just like vocalize and think through this.
Think through it.
Like, let me first scroll to where Breath of the Wild is on this sheet that you and I have.
Just control F breath.
Yeah. Ooh, those piano notes came in right as I was thinking I'm not sure how to rate music. Because the thing is, like, you know, there was that one sting I called out earlier. I think the music, when it is like those opening piano notes when you come out of the cave at the start, I think are like incredibly strong.
When they deploy it, they nail it.
Yeah. I think it works really well. I think it works really well. I think it being as backgroundy as it is works really well. I also think if we want to count like sound design as a whole in with music, I think that
which I think we
builds it up
have in
even
the
more.
past. I think we should actually update that to sound design and music.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in here and say music / sound. I think it's a 4 for me because I think the music comes in forefront when you need it to, and otherwise it works really well as part of the background atmosphere. And I think the sound design works really well where like wind feels good on your ear in this game. The grass on your feet feels good to my ear in this game, and I really like all that.
Oh. I thought I would ride that.
I don't know what you have to do to make that happen. I've seen people do that, and I don't know what you did wrong.
Maybe I need to crouch.
Maybe that could be it.
Okay, I'll figure that
Give
out.
it a shot. Table setting. I don't want to just like. I have the lowest I've given for table setting is a 3, and I feel like a buffoon for this. Table setting for me is a 5. I think the table setting in Breath of the Wild is kind of perfect. I think I mentioned earlier how I think it's interesting the ways this game pulls from the very first Zelda. Mm-hmm. I think that this setting of welcome back, Link. You lived an entire life before. It's gone now. Everything you've ever known is gone now. Like, this game, a lot of Zelda games are kind of post-apocalyptic. They are post a catastrophic event. This one, why did that not work?
Who knows?
This one, I just think the pitch is really good of like, the world has been locked, while you've been away, the world has been locked in stasis with this thing just like terrorizing the world has been like terrorized in a frozen in time way for 100 years. Now you are awake again, and you are the one like arrow shooting through it that has a chance at disbalancing this thing going on. I love how it's done. I love the lore. I love the idea of, again, them digging up all this Sheikah stuff and Sheikah stuff being so core to it all. 5 out of 5 for me. I love it.
I think that's fair.
Did you want to give your answers to this, or should I keep going through mine?
You keep going. I'll give
Keep
mine
cooking.
on stream.
Sure. Well, I hope you'll give it on stream. We're both on stream. No, I get you. You'll put the sheet up and whatnot. Link design's like fine. Like I think he's a good Link. I don't know that he's like my favorite or least favorite. I think his outfits are all really good. He as a Link is very blank slatey. I think that works with him being like a very amnesiac Link. I don't know, he's a 3. He's kind of right down the middle for me.
I think that's fair.
I struggle with that a little bit because like if we're also adding in all his outfits, well, I don't know. Like some of his outfits are kind of bad. Some of them are fine. Some of them are bad. Oof.
Should have saved.
Should have saved. Oh, Seraph was saying the direction it's traveling doesn't, the log was traveling doesn't convey the acceleration to Link, like the angle might be bad.
That's fair. That makes sense.
That's
it's not something I've ever tried before. I'm used to plopping fans on them now.
Yeah, Zelda autonomy is, I guess, a 1. Like, she
decided to do the thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. She did make the decision. She is, like, in her own way, actively fighting Ganon, right? Like, she is doing that. I'll give her a 2, because I think you're right to point out that distinction. Bad guy introduction. Okay. You're not a buffoon. The Guardians are hard. They're great. I wish Tears of the Kingdom had a thing like them in its map.
That was me standing in gloom. That was my fault.
Yeah, okay. No, you're kind of right about that, actually. That is kind of the equivalent.
No, that is what happened. I stood in gloom there and I died.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought, got it. This is what I get for not watching you play. Bad guy introduction's good. Like, again, like Calamity Ganon, calling him Calamity Ganon, I think is like an incredibly strong decision. Like, he is a force of nature in this game, right? Yeah. And you see that nature happening in that castle. I don't know. It's a 4. I think it's good. I'm not gonna give it like a perfect 5 or anything.
Because
But
all we got was, what if there was a guy who was so big?
So big. I've played Shadow of the Colossus. I know what happens when there's a guy who's so big. I've seen that before. But yeah, it's a 4 because I do think that works. Like, I do think that works quite sufficiently. We've talked about like the visual landmarking of Hyrule Castle as a fucked up place. The Guardians also add to that. Vibes are a 5. I think vibes are one of the things this game has the strongest to it. I think they're incredibly good. I think again, like, you know, I mentioned Fallout a minute ago. To me, not that these games are similar, but like Fallout, I have played Fallout 3 and some of Fallout 4. Those games fail to me as post-apocalypse games because I don't find their apocalyptic settings interesting at all. I know, you know, I know people who love Fallout lore. I respect you. I'm not there with it. Like, to me, I walk out of the vault in Fallout 3 and I see a gray wasteland that goes for 700 fucking miles. And nothing about that is interesting. The vibes of this game's Hyrule are what make its open world interesting.
Yes.
And that is a complete success to me. Like, absolute success. Bosses is always hard to say because, like, I feel like most of these games we just don't see bosses early on.
I know. So I'm wondering, is that like a good... We've gotten to some bosses and some though is the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think it's good because, again, we do see Calamity Ganon here, and so, like, you know, we see him as this imposing thing flying over the castle. We just saw him again. So I do want to give points for that as, like, wow, you're just going in there. Hell yeah. The music in this version of Hyrule Castle kicks ass, by the way, also. The way it progresses as you go through it is really good. Yeah, there's no combat against him, but I think the imposingness of Calamity Ganon over the castle gives him a 3 for me.
Is there really no combat? Do you not fight Calamity Ganon?
I mean, you do eventually, but I'm saying, like, you're not, like... You do fight Calamity Ganon at the end of the video game. But, like... I don't know. You just kind of see him, and you fight the Guardians, which are extensions of him. And so I do think that counts for something. And
yeah,
so
like the fucked up Malice Ganon monsters are really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is I'm not trying to think of all the bosses. I'm just trying to think of the boss stuff we've seen so far in the opening hours, right? Like, I'm not counting all the bosses here, because I think all the bosses are fine. I think the bosses of Tears of the Kingdom, knowing, like, I know, like, generally what they are. I think they're kind of more interesting. But yeah, it's a 3 because I feel like seeing Calamity Ganon, that being really effective, and dealing with Guardians and what a threat they are adds up to a 3 for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those up.
It should automatically sum that row. And don't forget the bonus points.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go do that. So my base sum is 26 for this.
Okay.
Same base sum I gave Twilight Princess, 1 point higher than I gave Majora's Mask. Bonus points, we did wake up in a bed.
That's true.
Boom. Link has a clue. Like, Link gets a clue pretty quick.
Yeah, this Link feels like he has a handle on things in a way that no other Link does.
A guy has been sticking around as a ghost for 100 years in order to make sure that this Link has a clue.
Specifically to give this Link, like, the lay of the fucking land.
Yes. Xenon Hylians, you did see them in that flashback to before the Calamity, so I'm going to count that.
I think it works. I think that counts.
Holy shit is very, like, I don't quite know what that means in this context.
Did you go holy shit?
I think the first time playing this, yeah, like, I do remember, like, the first time I played this, it wasn't even seeing Calamity Ganon, it was actually, like, using the Sheikah Slate to, like, look around the map and just ping things and the marker being there. Like, that actually made me say, holy shit. I couldn't even tell you why that did, but I think that speaks to that being a really effective system. You were trying there. You were going for a good climby there.
I'm trying.
So I give it the holy shit. Known characters. Ganondorf is there.
Ganondorf's known.
Ganon is there. Zelda is talked about. Unique baddie, Calamity Ganon is there.
That works.
And
that
so-
works.
And so, Riley, I land at 31 for Breath of the Wild.
31 for Breath of the Wild.
Putting it, wait a minute. Did we, okay.
Did we?
No, right, duh. No, we're good, because I forgot the overall ranking is combined total. I'm an idiot. I have just ranked Breath of the Wild 1 point above Majora's Mask 3D, 2 points above Twilight Princess, making it my highest ranked game we've done so far.
Well, let's see how I feel about it, shall we?
Please, let's do it. Let's hit it.
Let me open this bad boy up and open up my Zelda sheet, my homies Google sheet, and I'll bring that up on screen for the party here.
Please.
So, Tears of the Rhythm. What row is it?
It's the third one. Oh no, sorry. It is row number. Wait, where is it? 25.
Left side of the screen. Thank you. Window capture. Check. All right, let's bring that thing up. All right, gamers. So I go here. Let me first go over to here. Grab your bonus points. You said 26. All right.
My total points is 31.
All right. Oh yeah, okay. Total points is 31. Let's see. Breath of the Wild 26 right there. First, deploy the bonus points. Music. I talked before about how I'm a little bit of a hater for the music, but I'm not entirely. I have to admit, of the things that we experienced in this were good. I will give it a 3. Table setting, you're right. They have a dude say shit's fucked, and they give you time to say, wow, this is fucked. So I think that's also a 5. I think I dislike this Link even more. I think this Link style is missing something that other Links have. I feel bad putting him below Twilight Princess, but like I think I like Twilight Princess more.
I think you're based for that, because I think this Link, like, he's fine. He feels a little bit like they took Skyward Sword Link and just made like Walmart Skyward Sword Link a little.
All right, Zelda Autonomy 2. Right?
Yep.
Bad guy introduction. I do think that Calamity Ganon rushing around and being raw is very cool. I will give that a 4. Vibes, I think you're right. Bosses, I'm putting that down to a 1.
Okay.
I 2, because you're right. Seeing Calamity Ganon is very cool. We have not fought a boss. What am I saying? 1.
Well, that's why I was a little confused by that tab. Is like, do we just count that as fighting a boss or seeing one?
I think it's because we do see a boss. You're right.
We see the big boss of the game, and it's imposing in a way that's. I'm not trying to tell you to change your score. I'm just like trying to figure out what we mean. What this category is, right? Because like, to me, it's that you see Calamity Ganon. His imposing nature is pressed upon the kingdom, and then you have the Guardians are not bosses, but I would argue that like they are kind of like bosses in that they are like the biggest threat.
They're your
world.
roaming mini boss fight. You are.
Yeah.
I'm willing. You know what? I'm willing to buy that. I'm willing to buy that take on it. I will keep that at a 2. I think. I think
2 makes sense for that. Yeah.
So, Jay, multiple things are going to happen right now. I'm combining. My final score ended up being 27.
Okay.
Which I think is, it's not the lowest. It's below Majora's Mask, but it's above Twilight Princess.
I do want to point out you just did all that in the Link's Awakening remake tab that you have in addition to the regular Link's Awakening tab.
Clunk.
Copy it later if you want. Do whatever.
Nope,
okay.
Right there, fixed. Get out of here. Dead.
Yay.
So, I come down here to Breath of the Wild. A 29 from Jay, a 25 from Riley, 54 over. No, that's Twilight Princess. Where's Breath of the fucking Wild in here? Breath. There it is. Reference error and reference error.
Incredible.
One second. Let me get this bad boy together.
Sylvie says you maybe missed a bonus point for wakes up in a bed.
I think I fixed it.
Okay.
I fixed it. I accidentally applied it over. 59 is our final score. A 28 from me, a 31 from you. Putting it below Majora's Mask, putting it above Twilight Princess as the second best Zelda game. Scientifically.
That feels right to me.
I am happy with that. I'm interested in that.
It's very funny. Again, I'm gonna rag on you for how much you've been like, I don't want to be a Breath of the Wild hater. Your score is not that much below mine. Like, you don't hate this game, and you don't seem like you do.
I think it's just that I want the series to do more again. I don't want the series to be this forever. But
I think I'm glad we talked about that a lot tonight, because I feel like we really got to the core of that, because I do get that, and I agree with you. Like, I like these two games more than you do, but I completely agree with you that, like, we need to move on from this after these.
This can't be our forever.
Yes, exactly.
Jay, are you ready to see what you're playing?
Riley, I would love.
It's not next week, because next week I'm going to a Hot Mulligan and Spanish Love Songs concert.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. We do have. Wait, am I gonna be on a train the next week after that? No, I'll be good. Okay, we can do it 2 weeks from now.
That's the 22nd. I'm at Christmas party.
Oh, okay, word. All right. It's New Year.
Yeah, next
Historia
year.
Homies will continue.
Or the 29th. No, the 29th.
That's true. Happy almost New Year, everybody.
New Year.
What game will we be remembering as we observe the New Year's fireworks, Riley Hopkins?
Zelda 2.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm boned. Oh, I'm beamed. Oh. Riley, do you want to hear a secret? I've never played Zelda 2 in my life.
I have never played any Zelda games before Ocarina of Time, so I feel you, dog.
Oh my! Oh man! I hope you get a Link to the Past when we get to that one. Oh my God, this is gonna be rough.
All right.
I'm excited. I'm worried. I'm nervous. I know some people do love this game. I am a occasional Vinesauce watcher. I know Vinny Vinesauce he plays a run of this every year on his birthday and does like different challenge runs on it. This game has its fans. I don't know if I'm one of them. We're gonna find out.
I put Zelda 2, the adventure of Link, on the board. And that's gonna do it for us here today. Jay, I think it's time to close the book on all known lore about Breath of the Wild.
Yep, everything we've ever known and ever could know. It's all done.
It's all wrapped up.
We've done it all. We just saw the whole map. We saw everything. We explored it all.
We saw that we're at the end game right now, frankly.
We kind of are, actually, where you brought us. That is technically correct.
And isn't that the best kind of correct to be?
It sure is, Riley.
Thank you, homie, for joining me. I appreciate it. and
thank you, homie.
And to all of you, our precious homies in the wings watching, thank you for joining us again. We will see you. We'll talk to see if it's actually on the 29th. But if it is, plan for it, baby.
One of those Fridays, we'll be seeing ya.
One of those dig damn Fridays. I don't know which one, but one of them. And let's fucking go. I'm going to bring the stream down. I'm going to play us out. Ta-ta for now, buddies.
Ta-ta till the...
There is that, and then can I just, if I go here and I say play the Song of Storms dubstep remix, does that do it? Here we go. All right.